Welcome to the Weekly Social, folks. Everything Katy, Fulsher, Richmond, Texas. Today we have Rob Schaefer as well as the lovely Priscilla Paugh.
Thank you, Richard.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself, and thanks for coming out today.
You bet. I'm glad to be here. Thank you. I'm a Houston boy through and through, born and raised, so there aren't many of us.
That's a rarity.
It is, yeah. Robert E. Lee High School, U of H. Cougar, and have been in the energy business, fortunate enough to be in the energy business my whole professional career. So my day job, as I like to call it, I work for Kinder Morgan, which is a great company, very well run. Big natural gas gorilla, but in particularly, I look after their natural gas liquids business.
Okay.
But we are a very philanthropic family, and so here today to talk a little bit about the Ballard House and our upcoming sporting clay event.
I love it. Yes, it's coming up very soon. So
that's right, Friday, February 7th. So if you're interested, I encourage you to go on the website, theballardhouse.org, and all the information is there.
For the sporting place.
Yeah.
So tell us, until I had gone out there and seen a sporting clays event, I didn't know what that meant and why people wanted to do that. But as you and I have talked about, I think it's a bigger event. People enjoy it more than the golf tournaments anymore.
Yeah, it is very similar to a golf tournament. I believe it's a little more social. You're not so spread apart in your foursomes or in the groups like that. You're not spread out over a whole. The stations tend to be closer together. You do ride around in a golf cart, ironically.
Right.
I have found just in my professional career, there are golfers, and then there are the folks that like sporting clays, and I tend to lean towards the sporting clays. So this one is a great event. It continues to grow. I believe this is going to be our 12th year. 12th year,
yeah.
I think. That's right. So really excited. It gets bigger every year. We already have, I think, close to 30 teams registered this year.
Huge.
It's awesome.
And we've been doing...
but we need some more. We need some more, guys. Some more registrants.
Dave Brown, our executive director, set a personal goal for himself to have 35, and I think we'll get there. So really excited about it. It's a great event out at West Side Sporting Grounds, kind of North Katy, if you will.
Right.
Beautiful
Which is
setting.
a
private. It's a club.
Sporting club.
It is, and they're generous enough to let us host the event there.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, we've been hosting the event since we started it.
Oh,
there.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we've never moved it.
Oh, wow.
It's always been at West Side. They have a beautiful facility, and they just take care of us very well, and all the teams that come in.
Yeah, it's a neat place. It's covered with big oaks, 100-year-old oaks. And then they converted an old galvanized metal barn, and it's just beautiful. Really, really neat facility. We're going to have a lot of raffle items this year. The donations have just been coming in, which is wonderful. A live auction, barbecue lunch. There'll be a bourbon pull. So
A bourbon what?
Bourbon pull. So
What is that?
So I'm glad you asked, Richard. I'm glad you asked.
That just opened the door. Thank you.
So a couple years ago, one of the volunteers had the great idea that we would accept donated bottles of bourbon, and they'll go into a brown paper bag, all very good bourbon.
Of course.
Of course. Yes, not the best. And we, Tractor Supply and Katy, donated a galvanized trough, livestock trough.
Okay.
The guests of the Ballard House paint it from wherever they're from, which is a pretty neat deal. And they stage these bottles of bourbon disguised in brown paper bags. And you come, and I forget the amount. I think it's
$50.
$50 a chance. And for a $50 donation, you get to pull a bottle of bourbon. And be surprised.
And for a $100 donation, so you get 2 pulls, you'll get the flight glasses with it.
Oh, that's right. So we're going to have a flight of bourbon glasses with the Ballard House logo on it.
Oh,
So
wow.
you get 2 bottles of bourbon and just some glasses to go with it.
So it's a guaranteed win.
Right.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never heard of
Yeah.
a bourbon
A
pull.
lot of people do wine pools.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, I guess I'm in the cave. I mean,
but in the sporting clays, I think there's a lot of bourbon drinkers.
Yes.
And
cigar.
yes.
I'm sure.
And do we have the cigar roller out there this year?
I don't know. I need to check on that. So I think we do.
I think we do too.
We have live music.
Yes.
So that'll
Yes.
be great.
And then Glenn Beckendorf, which is an amazing man that
Judge
supports
Beckendorf,
us
super good.
so much.
Great auctioneer too.
That's
Is
what
that
he's doing.
doing?
He's
Yeah.
doing the live auction.
I've
Again.
known Glenn for years.
Again. So
So he's amazing.
he is.
So he'll make sure that the Ballard House is well taken care of.
He can work a crowd.
Yes.
He's really good.
Yes.
He's very good at what he
Yes.
does.
So all that.
And everybody
going
knows
on.
and loves him.
I know, right?
So what kind of things are going to be in the live auction?
I'm glad you asked. We're going to have a 4-man duck hunt in the El Campo Garwood area, donated by Red Bluff Prairie. Mike and Linda Lanier, great people. This is the 3rd year they've done that.
Awesome.
There'll be a weekend at the 3-in-1 Ranch, which happens to be in that area. Modern farmhouse. You can hog hunt and or duck hunt on that ranch if you buy that. It's a great opportunity for like a parent youth type introduction. And if it's the youth that's hunting, there'd be an opportunity to harvest a white-tailed doe. So that's a great one.
Oh, awesome.
We have a donated.
We need to let the 4-H club know those are coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
MGW Outfitters has donated a 5-gun, 5-day high-volume dove hunt in Argentina or Uruguay. So you have to get there.
That's a trip of a lifetime.
It's
there.
a trip of a lifetime. It is not uncommon to bag 1,000 birds in a day.
Yeah,
So,
I heard it looks.
1,000?
Yes, it's
1,000,
crazy. You don't even have to aim. I've talked. A friend of mine went down there. He says all you do is shoot.
yeah.
You'll get one. You get it.
There's
You get
no
it.
way you're going to miss hitting a bird.
The
that
statistics
many.
that they lose about 20 to 30% of their agricultural crops to doves, so they're a nuisance there. So high volume hunting, and then COVID came, shut down, so it's even worse. Better or worse. So,
But they get to stay in a lodge and all
beautiful
that
lodge.
over there.
Yeah, it includes all your lodging, transportation, food, wine, good Argentinian wine, steaks. Small fee to rent the gun, and then you buy your shells from them, and you have to get there and back. But that's relatively inexpensive. Nominal. It's a great hunt. So, what else do we? Oh, the dog. We have an Airedale Terrier, an AKC registered puppy that's coming. Coming out of Oklahoma. Beautiful female. And then Denise Einkoff, who's on the board of the Ballard House, owns Wagon Tails Pet Ranch in Fulshear. She's also on the Katy Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
She also supports the Fulshear Police Department. I don't know when the woman sleeps. To be
I
quite
don't
honest with
either.
you.
I don't either.
And been very instrumental in
But she put boarding with the dog.
$1,000 credit towards boarding the dog if and when you need that. Wagon Tails.
Yeah, I bring my dog there all the time.
She's a great person.
Yes.
She really
In
is.
fact, we have a Great Dane. We brought her there once, and she was very nervous and just a nervous wreck. And we had to come back and pick her up, and they actually sat there with our dog and actually tried to calm her down. Most dog places wouldn't do that. So
She's
a great place.
it's a great place. Yeah.
All great people there.
So,
Oh, that's cool.
so even if you don't come to the clay shoot and you have pets, Wagon Tails and Fulshear, it's a great place.
100%.
Yeah.
We have a
Yes.
pool there too.
Do they really?
For the dogs to go and play.
That's great.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. No, the people that support the Ballard House, just like you, I mean, are just amazing in everything that they give and help. And so if y'all don't know about the Ballard House, we had Dave on, the director of the Ballard House. He was on the podcast first part of last year.
Yes,
I wanna say.
we were actually in the other room when we shot that one.
So that was 2 years. That was not last year. That was the year before.
Really?
Yeah. So that was in 2023 we did that.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Should we talk a little bit about what it is?
yeah, that's where I was going. No, I'm going to let you do that.
Okay. Well, it's a hospitality house, so very similar to the Ronald McDonald House, which people are more familiar with. So if you're visiting from out of state or from another city, receiving medical care in the Houston area, as a lot of folks do, a lot of medical coverage providers do not cover temporary housing.
Right.
So you can stay at the Ballard House free of charge. And 40 rooms do we have? And so we have just topped our 104,000 nights of free stay for
Oh, wow.
families and that are receiving medical care in the
just
Houston
huge.
area.
And that's
So,
up to 90 days at no charge.
Right.
Room and board.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And it's for any age.
Any
It's
age.
not like the
Not
Ronald
just for
McDonald
children.
House is for children. The Ballard House is any age can stay.
It has to be a life-threatening treatment.
Serious
Quick-
medical conditions.
serious, okay.
Yeah.
So it's the social workers from the hospitals that recommend the people to get in contact with the Ballard House
I see.
that know
So
that they're going to be here for
vetted through the hospital or
you
whatever.
know.
Okay.
We had one gentleman a couple of years ago that was here for a heart transplant. It took him 3 years to finally get the transplant.
Oh, wow.
So he was in and out of the Ballard House, during that 3 years.
I think he's back. I think I saw him up there recently. Anyway, I'm off
Oh, I
topic
hope
there.
not.
But I think he was just
Just
getting
here for
checkups.
Okay. Whew. I know Dave and Naomi. They meet so many people, and you create relationships with all these people that are coming in, and that's got to be tough when things don't go well.
Yep, and that does happen from time to time.
But the community supports
Yes,
it. I mean,
yes.
Oh, the
everybody.
meals. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
have to
right.
wait months in order to sponsor a meal there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
That's
think
right.
about that. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Because
So
I raise money, do fundraisers all the time. It's not easy to raise money and do fundraisers. It's not. And then the support that pours out into the Ballard House, and you have to wait in line to donate and give to them.
right.
Yeah.
I applaud that, guys.
That's
Oh,
great.
It's
That's
amazing.
great. Really.
Also, you can go by there anytime, and they will give you a tour of the facility. You
Beautiful.
can
Beautiful facility.
rent. You can not rent. You can be a donation for a room.
You can be a namesake sponsor
Yes.
of rooms, which could be a huge help. It's on Mason Road, just north of West Park Toll Road, right by the elementary school.
Creech.
Right next to Creech. It's on the
It's across the street from it, isn't it?
No,
right.
it's right next to it.
Or next to it.
Yep.
Okay.
on the east side of Mason there, right by the bayou. So please, if you're ever in that area, stop by. So
Because they will.
they'll
They'll give you a tour.
tour. It's a neat
And
place.
let you see how it all kind of comes together.
Yeah.
And it just makes a difference when you can see it. It really does.
It started with what, 20 rooms or something, and then
The first building was 22, I think.
And then we had the expansion campaign.
Yes, and so during Harvey, the building was flooded. And so, oh my gosh, again, the community took in people that were staying there, until
so
they
it just
could
opened up
figure
their
out.
homes to them.
Yes.
That's right.
That's huge.
Just amazing. And so then, we had to redo the first building and after the storm and get that redone. And then Monty Ballard said, you know what? I think we need another one. And so then after we did that, then we built the second building. So just amazing.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
And it stays pretty full year round.
Oh yes.
90
yeah.
plus
Yeah, we
percent.
have a waiting list. Yeah.
Wow.
And they do a great job of moving and jockeying families around just so that they can get them in. So.
Because when you're coming in for that kind of stuff, sometimes blood work comes back and it's not good, so you're not going to get a treatment. So you may go home, and then you got to reschedule to get back into the Ballard House and everything. So they work with these families and get that taken care of. So that's why there is some wiggle room there, because somebody may not be getting some kind of treatment or whatever that they've come in for, and so that allows another family to come in.
But it's not inexpensive to run, so
No,
thus,
not at all.
thus the fundraisers that are
Not
necessary.
at all.
So.
No, we need that support from the community and everybody, because look at what you're doing for people, and without the support, can't do it.
Right. And most people, they don't buy into something until they need it. So be proactive. Donate. It's like blood drives. We run out of blood every single day in Houston.
Speaking of that, you're working on that to
Yes.
happen at the Ballard House here shortly.
Yes. cross promotion. It was a huge success last year, so thank you to everybody that came out and supported us. We will be doing another announcement for the first quarter of this year. We typically push it for 30 days to get people out.
Yeah. So for a blood drive to be, the blood unit comes to the Ballard House. So then everybody that's coming and giving blood can kind of take a tour and get a see what the Ballard House is about too. So it's helping both.
What's the date of that?
We don't know yet.
We're waiting to hear back from the Ballard House and the blood drive
Right.
community. It's in motion.
To
It's coming.
coordinate dates,
Got it.
you know.
Got it. That's great. That's good.
So
It's like herding cats to get stuff done sometimes.
What you mean?
and we had another wonderful company donate the stones, the rocks, last year for the blood drive. We need to talk to Stephanie.
Stephanie and Brad.
What are the? I'm drawing a blank right now. Richard, help me with what their company. They do these big, beautiful stones. Like if you want, your house number or whatever, you're out on the
that's neat.
a property, and those things last forever. And she'll put, if you've got a ranch and you have a logo, she'll put that on it. I mean, she does it all by hand.
That's neat.
It's really cool. So she donated a couple of those at the blood drive just to.
Yeah, and we gave them away.
I have one at my house.
You do? Yeah.
I do.
I wonder if she would donate one for the sporting clays.
Good idea.
So you
Yeah.
said you were in the energy business.
I am.
So what made you want to get into that?
My father, primarily. I grew up, my father was a petroleum engineer, Exxon, had his own company like that. And so, I don't know, you tend to kind of gravitate towards, family biz.
Like sons.
And I came out of school with an accounting degree. Didn't really have any desire to be a mainstream accountant. So I had a couple headhunters working for me, and got an interview with a company called Enterprise Products, and not the car rental company.
Enterprise Products, yes.
And Dan Duncan's company, God rest his soul. And I told my dad, I said, "Hey, I got an offer from." It was BFI at the time, was the garbage waste.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In their accounting group, and then I had an offer from Enterprise Products. And Enterprise had longer hours Monday through Thursday, but Fridays you got off at 1. And I was like, that sounds really appealing.
Especially as a young man, I'm sure.
So I took the job with Enterprise, private company, and just drank from the fire hose for several years. We took the company public, and
So you were accounting for them?
no, I got into as like a business analyst, which was great. I kind of sat between operations and accounting, and so we took barrels and put dollar figures to them and handed them off to the accounting group.
Okay.
For just a kind of a simple analogy, and but got to be part of an IPO at a very young age. And I remember always running around, "Oh, we're doing an IPO," and I'm like, "Yeah." Google, what's an IPO? And with that, those additional funds just went on a growth spree, just grew the company. So I was there 13 years, and
How old were you when you started?
trying to remember that, mid-20s, I would guess.
pretty
Yeah, pretty young. And 2010, decided to make a change. It was
Ooh, after all the.
It was pretty hard.
Yeah.
There were some long weeks in there.
Well, 2010, that was a challenging economy
It
at that
was.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had just, we kind of gone through some
And
things.
you were
too.
still, how old,
2008,
Jake?
2009, yeah.
Yeah, I was 8 years old.
He didn't know what
Okay,
economy
Jake
was
with
at that
State
age.
Farm.
So, but I decided to make a change, and I had a small customer, the Copano Energy, little midstream company named after Copano Bay, which ironically is named after the Copano Indians. So there you go. And
Interesting.
so made a jump over to them, and then 3 years later, Kinder Morgan, the big 800-pound natural gas gorilla, crude was at 100, and we decided to do an invitation only and sell Copano. And we had a JV, joint venture with Kinder, and they stepped in and bought us, and I've been there ever since. So,
Wow.
really only 2 companies if you think about my
Yeah.
career, which is
Yeah.
kind of rare.
Kind of rare.
That's very rare in today's day and age.
Well, and in that business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot of seat swapping in the energy corridor.
Recruitment of good
Yep.
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun place to work. In particular, like I said, we're the liquids team, so we're ethane, propane, butanes, gasoline, light oils, condes. We're naturally long given our asset base, so we do a lot of physical marketing. We do some hedging, paper marketing. We do business development. We manage 2 FERC-regulated ethane lines, one from Ohio up to Sarnia, Ontario, one from Texas to Louisiana.
Okay, so what is that? The fracking? No.
FERC?
FERC.
Sorry, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. So if you have a pipeline that crosses a state line, the feds get involved, and it's a common carrier line at that point.
Okay.
So you have a published tariff, and if you want to ship on that, you pay that rate. So,
Okay. All right.
as opposed to being intrastate. So if you're in Texas, you can try to build it private, but you can't use eminent domain, and you could try to keep price. So it's very difficult to do. If you use eminent domain,
Because if you're private, you don't have the government.
that's it.
Right.
And so if you're intrastate Texas, then you're managed through the Texas Railroad Commission, which is a funny name, but
I would have never guessed that.
right.
Yeah.
So the TRC does that, and
Okay.
you again have a published tariff, not nearly as stringent as working with FERC, but there you go.
Wow.
Well-
Wow. So the railroads are, even though there's not as many railroads as we used to have, they've still got some opportunities to continue some things a little different.
Yeah, and the
they've
namesake
spread
is
out.
yeah, and
Is it the railroads the railroads?
they do, but it's a funny name because it really is the authority within Texas for managing pipelines. And they do other things too. They manage drilling and the permitting of that, but it's a powerful agency. And but you wouldn't think a pipeline that wants to build within the confines of Texas would need some type of authority to regulate that. But that is the Railroad Commission.
That's interesting. That could be another podcast we could do.
That would be great.
So for your hobbies, I guess would clay shooting be a hobby of yours?
It is, yeah. We're a very outdoorsy family, so we hunt, we fish, and I love to shoot sporting clay. So, and it really was the hunting that kind of morphed over into the sporting clays.
And
But
that's a 12 gauge double barrel shotgun. Is that?
I like 12 gauge. Yeah, I'm not as good as some, so I need the extra pellets. So
I did it a long time ago, and I was horrible. I couldn't hit a single pellet the whole day.
well, we ought to go shoot sometime.
Yeah.
We need some later, so.
I've got a
Yeah.
lot to learn.
And even if somebody doesn't have a gun for the shoot, I think the West Side has some guns that
They do, and I'll bring extras.
that can be used.
My wife says I'm a collector.
No.
You own a gun shop? No, I'm
Not yet.
Not yet.
The collection's not that big.
There are 2 safes, and there's no room anymore, so I'm gonna have to.
Oh wow.
Anyway,
But I just wanted to kind of say that because some people don't have it and they just want to come out and they
come
want
out,
to try it
come
out
see it,
and
yeah.
Oh, it's
you know,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. A friend of mine and I go, and shoot a couple of times a year, and
Anybody can do it.
it's
Yeah.
just you can't think of anything else when you're doing it. Your mind is fully focused on what you're doing, but it's relaxation. It's a good.
Most people would not agree with you that shooting guns is relaxing. Is it therapeutic?
It really is.
It is.
Okay.
Because
For me, it is. Like I like the.
yeah, because I can't think of anything else when I'm doing it.
Well, you're out with nature.
Right.
That's true.
You're using hand-eye coordination, and it's a high level of concentration.
Yes.
That's right.
Because you're trying to time and get in front of that bird, and when you change stations, the speeds, everything changes.
And they may be coming real low where you've been
It
shooting
might be
up
the
here.
rabbit, right? They're coming at
Yes.
you, away
Rabbit.
from you.
Pick the rabbit. And when you finally reach, if you focus as hard as you can, everything slows down. And I think that's the peaceful nature of it that you might be referring to. So if you can focus all of your being onto that target, everything slows down. It's I think it's kind of the psychology of sports in a certain way. That's the tunnel vision you hear people talk about. So
I
that
think
part of
me
it.
and Richard can attest to that, especially when you used to race professionally. You
Yeah.
have that
Well,
concentration of
focus. That acronym is follow one course until successful.
I like that.
So
Yeah, that
clay
makes sense.
shooting, hunting, fishing. What other hobbies?
And
Family.
family
Uh-huh.
and
And family.
family and philanthropy. Yeah. So still married to my first wife, but anyway. She hates it when I say that. No, married to a beautiful woman.
She is gorgeous.
She is gorgeous.
No practice marriage.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And 2 kids?
3. They're all grown. Yeah.
Okay.
All of them graduated college last year. So Luke's 25. He took the longer route, and then we have twins, Haley and Michael. They're 23. A&M grads, both of them there.
Great school.
Oh,
Great
that's
school.
awesome.
Probably one of the last conservative higher education institutions.
Yes.
And in the,
Plans on going there.
it's a great school. We've got a condo, so give me his number.
Okay.
We're always looking for tenants.
Good tenants.
Good tenants.
Yeah,
that's
good
right.
tenants.
That's right. And in the typical A&M way, tends to be a very faithful school. So my son Michael got married in November at the ripe age of 23.
Congrats.
So he met he met a gal who's of that same faith and dated for a year and decided to get married.
Oh, where did they get married in College Station?
No, they went to, it was in Canyon Lake at the preserve, which is very,
Okay.
very nice. Very, very
Yes.
expensive, so I'm glad I
Yes.
didn't pay for that.
Yeah, it was the son. That was good.
So, do you
Just
do-
rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
That's personal
Yeah.
and honeymoon. I got out cheap. So
Do you do a lot of your fishing here in Texas, or do you?
Yeah,
go
I
other
do.
Places? Okay.
yeah, mostly here. We like saltwater fishing, so Galveston Basin mostly.
Well, Gulf of Mexico. Well, Gulf of America now.
Gulf.
Yeah, Gulf of America.
Yeah. We like that. We do a little bit down.
Do y'all
around-
go and fish to Christmas Bay there in Freeport?
No, not so much. We fish the jetties if we're going to fish Galveston. Porto, it's kind of been overfished, but some of that's pretty good. Rockport, occasionally we'll do that. We do some wade fishing down there. The surf can be good in Matagorda.
Yeah.
So certain times a year.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. But Christmas Bay, I mean, it is, to me, one of the better ones because it's on an oyster reef. And so the fish are very happy there.
Oh.
And,
Doesn't get overfished either.
no, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
No. So I really like Christmas Bay. You just got to be careful with your boats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is shallow.
Yeah, it is very shallow.
Yeah,
My
right.
cousin has a fishing charter business down in Fort A.
Oh, really?
He brings people out. I mean, not now; it's colder.
Yeah.
But they go out for hours, 20 hours, 2 hours long fishing trips. Professional.
They go offshore?
Yeah.
Okay.
They go like 200 miles out.
Yeah.
Way out by the ocean.
Yeah.
So they're
But they catch good fish.
catching the tunas,
Yeah.
the
Swordfish.
yes.
Mhm.
Oh, that's fun.
For sure. But
That is fun.
yeah, I couldn't do it. Me personally, I'd probably get seasick.
Yeah.
I get seasick very easily.
Me too, Jake. Me too.
Go on Amazon.
I'm not gonna
and
go on. I'm not gonna go on a cruise anytime soon.
Check out the
Can't do it on a
electronic
cruise.
bands they have now. You can find them on Amazon. It disrupts your
Really?
Really?
Yeah, no seasickness anymore.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a little electronic band you wear right here.
I always try to take some medicine, and it's still.
The
Dramamine, I
Yeah.
think that is.
It knocks me
Yeah.
out. I can't do it.
Yeah.
No, Amazon electronic bands, no more seasickness.
There you go. All
Yeah,
right,
I gotta get that.
we gotta try it out.
It takes a lot to make me seasick.
Not me. I can look at it and be
Yeah,
seasick.
me
Oh,
too.
well.
Yeah.
Nah.
I could just think about it.
Yeah.
Especially if you see someone else get seasick.
Oh
and
yeah, then
all
it's
of a
over.
sudden
It's over. Yeah.
Chain reaction.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done.
It's like
Yeah.
it's collateral.
You can put me out in 8 to 9s or whatever. I'm fine.
Really,
How?
that's a great skill.
That's
I don't know.
awesome. That's awesome. You're just. I mean, your equilibrium is good.
Mhm.
Mine's not. Can you? Yeah.
As long as I can see, like roller coasters and all that.
Yeah,
As long as I can see the track, I'm fine.
Yeah.
When it goes into darkness, that's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Roller coasters will even.
Yeah. Well,
Do
most
it to
people that
me.
get seasick don't like roller coasters.
Yeah.
I love roller coasters. But
Really?
it
Really?
will. If I can usually do the first time riding a roller coaster, maybe twice. Third time, no.
No. You just have that little window of
Yeah,
opportunity.
I do have a
and
window of
that's it.
opportunity, which is great. But no, then after that, I can't do it again. Well, we always go off on tangents.
I know.
We do.
That's
We
the beauty
do.
of this podcast. We'll just
And we
talk
always
It's not an
do.
interview, it's just a conversation.
Everybody should start listening towards the end of the podcast. If they don't, listen to
missing
the
all the
whole
good stuff.
thing, they're missing the good stuff at the end.
Yes.
So, Rob, what do you got going on in your life? Tell us a little about what do you have going on right now. What are your got any
Sporting
New Year's
clays.
resolutions?
Sporting glaze.
Sporting clays.
No, the sporting clays is good. There's another concept I'd like to develop around the Ballard House. We're working on it right now, but we'll water drop any of your viewers there. Where we'd like to kick off Katy's annual fajita cook-off, which I think would be neat. HEB is a big sponsor of the Ballard House. Thank you, HEB.
Big sponsor.
Spectacular.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
It
I'm saying.
is.
So we'd like to pitch this to, and we haven't. So if they see this, we're coming to talk to you.
We're coming.
We're on our way.
Yes.
But we found an area here in Katy, not far from the Ballard House, Grand Lakes Presbyterian at Peak and Fry's got that huge field with the big oaks.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
They've already
yeah.
kind of given us
Beautiful.
a tentative yes, and then get some live music, and I think it could be a really neat deal. So
Oh, that's cool.
So that
and so
we're
have
working on.
teams and
Yeah.
and all of that, kind
Yeah.
of like a chili cook-off,
Yeah.
but a fajita cook-off.
family oriented. So yeah. So
Oh,
so
that's
not, you know,
awesome.
so it'd be good. I think it was actually my neighbor had the idea, and I think, man, that's a great idea.
That is a great idea because that doesn't nobody does a fajita cook-off.
No,
So
that'd be neat.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Katy Fire Department used to do that years ago. I don't know if they still do because I used to support that.
I thought they do. The Katy Fire Department does the hamburger thing,
It may have morphed into that. It's been a few years.
and it's at
And then the police do the fish fry.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
That sounds so good. I'm hungry.
And it's lunchtime.
Fish fry. Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
yeah.
that fish fry.
Well, let's wrap things up.
Okay.
So again, the Ballard House Sporting Clay Shoot. It's coming up February 7th.
Friday, February 7th.
Go
So-
to theballardhouse.org.
Friday.
It's on a Friday. That's right. So it's a great day to skip work if you can come out. Winners get a neat belt buckle.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty neat deal.
Beautiful.
So high shooter male, high shooter female, and then high shooting team all get a
Yeah.
get a belt
And
buckle.
so, Rob, you won this in
23.
2023.
Oh, that's
Okay.
yours.
Yeah,
I
that's
bought-
his.
I just bought it.
Uh,
I went to the winner like I give you $50 for that.
and so this year will be 2025 on it. I mean, it's gorgeous.
And they're neat. Yeah, they are.
It's
neat.
really
Yeah,
cool.
They do really well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great thing to take home. It's useful.
Yeah.
It can be used. So, those are some different things that we do.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in big trouble. We also have 2 guns that we do like a football pot.
Okay.
Gun boards.
And so you come in and you buy 2 squares, pick out which squares you want, and then it's like a football pot where it's drawn at the end to figure out who won.
But you have to be present in order to buy your square? Or can
Or
they
somebody could do
Yeah.
it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
just seeing if any viewers could buy the squares
Oh,
now? That's what I'm asking.
100%.
Yeah.
100% could give us a holler at, for the event that day and tell us, hey, I'm going to send in 2 and we'll put them down.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd be happy to.
So I think it's a self-defense shotgun, a Mossberg Shockwave,
Right.
and then it's a pistol is the other one. I think it's Smith maybe or Ruger. I gotta ask Bill again.
I know.
I think it's a 9mm. So
And so Bill Thompson, he is our CHL guy that gets the guns, and so then the winner goes through him,
For
gets
CHL
the license transferred and
Great.
everything. Well, they don't get the class; they get the gun is registered and transferred to that person.
they can do
Okay.
the federal
Through it. Yeah.
background check,
Got
and Bill does all that. And
So that's the blessing.
yeah, that'll be there. So
But he's very anxious for, of course, do the gun swears with us. But I think he's more anxious about the dogs this year.
Yeah.
The dog.
I should also mention Carbach Brewery is sponsoring us, so thank you, Carbach.
Oh, yes.
David Gardner Jewelers in College Station. This will be the 3rd year that they're helping us. So thank you, David Gardner. And
Wow.
Who else?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Just so many.
Tito's Vodka, they're sponsoring us,
yeah.
so we'll have a gift basket from them. Thank you, Tito's. So
Good things.
Good
Good
things.
things. So, want to know more about it? Go to the website,
Please.
holler, and
What's the website again?
theballardhouse.org.
Got it.
And then you can
I'll
follow.
tag it. I'll put it.
Cool. And you
So
can-
we will have it tagged so that you guys can click on it. Go straight there if you're watching the videos. Guys.
yes. Yes. So, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad we got this out today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody coming out, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.